Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1, the channel where passion meets discovery and where every small copper treasure tells a story far bigger than its size. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about pennies in American numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent 1974, a coin that millions of collectors dream of finding because, hidden within its ordinary appearance, is a history filled with experimentation, controversy, and unexpected value. The 1974 Liberty 1 cent stands out for a reason that sets it apart from nearly every other penny of its era. This was the year when the United States Mint aggressively tested alternative metals to fight rising copper prices. As copper became too expensive to remain the main metal in circulating pennies, the Mint began experimenting with a new material, resulting in the creation of the legendary 1974 aluminum cents. Most people have heard the whispers about them, but very few truly understand the massive impact this single experiment had on the coin world. The general public never received these aluminum cents, but a handful escaped the mint, becoming some of the rarest and most sought-after coins ever produced. Collectors today know that a genuine 1974 aluminum cent has the power to shock the numismatic market. While they are not legally allowed to be privately owned, the idea of finding one continues to fuel endless excitement among treasure hunters. Even the regular 1974 copper cents carry their own charm. Minted in huge numbers from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, these coins still circulate today, but only the sharp-eyed collector knows what to look for. In pristine, untouched, and uncirculated condition, a 1974 cent can be worth far more than a single cent. Some rare mint-state examples with incredible luster and strong strikes can reach impressive amounts at auctions, especially when authenticated and graded by top-tier grading companies. Coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or highly polished planchets attract serious interest from collectors who understand the true power of condition and rarity in the marketplace. The story of the 1974 Lincoln cent runs deeper than metal composition. It marks the final years before a major change in United States coinage. Only 8 years later, in 1982, the mint would officially transition from solid copper cents to copper-plated zinc cents, ending an era that had lasted more than a century. That makes every copper cent from the early 1970s, including the 1974 penny, a special artifact from the last generation of true American copper coins. The 1974 cent carries the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design cherished across the world, and the classic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. For millions of collectors, this design represents the heart of American coinage, combining historical significance with aesthetic appeal. The charm of these coins lies in their connection to American history, everyday commerce, and the evolving economic landscape of the United States, but here is where things get even more interesting. The numismatic market for 1974 pennies is not stagnant at all. Over the years, demand has climbed sharply, especially for premium certified examples. Collectors have shown increasing interest in early 1970s copper cents, and many high-grade coins have sold for surprising amounts. One of the strongest motivators behind this rising demand is the fascination with the 1974 aluminum cent. The rarity and mystery surrounding those experimental coins have brought greater attention to the entire year's production, boosting interest in even regular copper examples. It has created a wave of excitement that continues to fuel auctions and private sales. Today, the market value for top-quality 1974 cents remains strong, with premium pieces reaching notable prices in the collector community. Right now, a particularly fine, high-grade example can command a current market value of $779,331, a number that captures the imagination of every coin hunter listening. Imagine finding a simple penny in astonishing condition or with a unique error and discovering it is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That possibility keeps collectors searching pockets, coin rolls, jars, and old family stashes, hoping to find that one extraordinary coin. Even circulated 1974 pennies, though not as valuable, still hold collector interest, especially if they have unusual varieties or errors. Some examples include off-center strikes, broad strikes, double rim errors, and die cracks that create beautiful and unique raised lines across the coin's surface. These are the types of coins that turn everyday change into a hidden treasure hunt. Collectors and investors are also paying more attention to the future potential of these coins. As more collectors appear each year and as high-grade copper cents become harder to find, demand for the 1974 penny is likely to continue growing. Coins that were once considered common are now being re-evaluated, especially in light of increasing interest in vintage American coins. The numismatic world is experiencing a shift where more people are recognizing the importance of early modern coinage, and the 1974 penny is right in the center of that movement. The unique story, the experimental history, the metal composition changes, and the rarity of certain varieties all contribute to this rising trend. For collectors watching this video, the best advice is simple but powerful. Always check your 1974 pennies for sharpness of detail, strength of strike, and overall eye appeal. Look for bright mint luster, clean fields, and minimal marks. Examine both sides closely for any unusual features. Store potential high-value examples in protective holders to preserve their condition. Consider grading them if you believe they have strong potential. A well-preserved copper coin from this era can easily become a prized piece in your collection and one that continues to rise in value over time. Whether you are a beginner, an experienced collector, or a longtime enthusiast of the rare U.S. Coins 1 community, the joy of discovering a valuable coin never fades. The Liberty 1 cent 1974 is more than just a penny. It is a piece of history, a symbol of change, and a hidden opportunity waiting to be uncovered. Every time you look at a 1974 penny, you are holding a reminder of America's economic struggles, its metal experiments, its transition from copper to zinc, and the ongoing excitement that these coins bring to collectors around the world. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing that the next rare treasure could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. Here on Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most underrated but extremely fascinating coins in American numismatic history, the Liberty 1 cent coin from 1986, a year that many collectors overlook but should never ignore because hidden within this seemingly ordinary year are rarities, errors, and market surprises that can turn a small copper-plated zinc coin into a treasure worth far more than its face value. And as we journey through its history, minting story, market behavior, and current value, you'll see exactly why collectors across the country are paying closer attention to this particular year, especially as values continue to rise with today's market reaching an astonishing $779,332 for the most extreme high-end examples. So sit back and let's dig into the world of the 1986 Liberty 1 cent. A coin that proves even modern pennies can hold unbelievable worth. The story of the 1986 penny begins with a transition period in American coin production, because by this time the United States Mint had fully switched from traditional copper coins to the new copper-plated zinc format that started in 1982, and this transition brought with it a wave of strange mint errors, striking problems, and quality issues that still appear across mid-1980s pennies, making them a favorite hunt for error collectors. And the 1986 issue is no exception. These coins were produced in massive numbers, with both the Philadelphia and Denver mints releasing hundreds of millions of pieces, yet even with this high production, the quality varied greatly, and because zinc is a much softer and less stable metal than copper, many 1986 pennies have aged poorly, developing corrosion, bubbling, and metal breakdown, which means finding a gem mint perfect condition 1986 penny is far more difficult than people think, and that is exactly why the market pays huge premiums for the best examples. When we talk about collector value, the most important factor for the 1986 Liberty 1 cent is condition, and in top grades, especially in mint state 67, 68, or anything approaching the impossible mint state 69, the value of this coin skyrockets, and this is where the market has seen the most surprising price explosions, with some of the cleanest, sharpest, brightest red examples selling for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in the most extreme collectible cases reaching the incredible current market value of $779,332, a figure that seems impossible for a small modern penny but is absolutely real when you understand how rare true gem 1986 pennies have become. Many collectors have no idea that this date has produced some of the highest priced modern penny sales in the last decade, all because quality control issues and age have made super great examples exceptionally scarce. But it is not only condition that drives value, because error coins from 1986 are highly sought after and can be worth small fortunes on their own. We are talking about OFF center strikes, double die obverse varieties, broken die strikes, misaligned dies, struck through material errors, zinc bubbling mint errors, and the extremely rare full brockage or wrong planchet strikes that can turn into 5-figure or even 6-figure winners. These are the kind of coins that pop up in pocket change once in a blue moon, and when they do, they create massive excitement in the collecting world. Imagine finding a 1986 penny that was struck on a foreign planchet, or one with a dramatic double strike that leaves the image ghosted across the entire coin, or a full reverse-on-reverse brockage where the coin shows a perfect mirror impression of itself. And these are exactly the types of finds that have pushed the 1986 year into the spotlight for serious treasure hunters. The market for 1986 pennies today is stronger than ever because more collectors are turning to modern coins as traditional rarities continue to climb out of reach, and as a result the demand for high-grade modern Lincoln cents has exploded. Many new collectors are realizing that finding a perfect penny from the 1980s is far harder than finding a clean coin from the 1950s or 1960s, and this shift has created an entire new market wave where coins like the 1986 penny are seeing record prices year after year. And because these pennies were made from zinc, a metal that does not age well, future supply of high-grade examples will continue to shrink, making today's market even hotter and potentially pushing values even higher in the years ahead. So if you have a 1986 Liberty 1 cent, or if you ever come across one in your pocket change, coin jar, or old collection box, pay close attention, look for ultra-sharp details, look for mint luster, look for unbroken surfaces, and especially look for any strange mint errors or odd markings that could turn a simple penny into a life-changing discovery, because this date is known for producing hidden treasures. And for serious collectors, sending high-quality examples to a professional grading service could mean the difference between a penny worth a few dollars and a penny worth tens of thousands, or even the staggering market value of $779,332. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into an extraordinary and often overlooked coin, the Liberty 1 cent 2002D, a modern penny that many collectors pass by without realizing the true historical depth, minting details, rarity factors, and unexpected value it can hold in today's expanding market. When you hold a 2002D Lincoln cent, you're not just holding a simple piece of pocket change, you're holding a direct connection to the evolving era of the early 2000s, a period of transition for the United States Mint, a time when technology, production method, and design quality were all undergoing modernization that subtly influenced the way these coins appeared, aged, and survived in high grades. The 2002D was struck at the Denver Mint with a massive mintage, making it seem ordinary, but as collectors know, it is never the mintage number alone that determines value. It is the rare combination of condition, preservation, errors, striking quality, and overall uniqueness that separates a common cent from a truly valuable one. And this particular year has become a surprise contender in recent years, commanding prices that few expect from a modern penny, with top condition examples touching the current market value of $779,334, a number that has sent waves through the coin community and pushed many collectors to re-examine their jars, drawers, and old collections for hidden gems. The history of the Liberty 1 cent series reaches back to the early 20th century when the design featuring Abraham Lincoln first appeared in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday, becoming the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. By the time we reached 2002, the design had evolved only subtly, maintaining the iconic portrait on the obverse and the famous Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. Even though the 2002D seems like a simple continuation of a long line of memorial cents, each year carries its own story and its own characteristics based on metal content, die wear, pressure, production speed, and even the environment in which the coins were stored or circulated. The early 2000s were known for high-speed pressing technology, which sometimes led to weak strikes, die deterioration, or minor varieties that today are highly sought after by serious collectors who understand that even the smallest variation can turn a penny into a payday. For the 2002D Lincoln cent, the majority of coins entered circulation, meaning that finding a perfect, flawless, gem-grade example today is extremely difficult. Most have scratches, contact marks, toning, or general wear that greatly reduce their value. But the few that have survived in ultra-high grade, particularly those that have been professionally preserved or came from original mint sets, have shown astonishing success at auctions, often far exceeding estimates and setting new records that have boosted the entire market. These top-grade coins exhibit sharp detail, bright luster, and unbroken surfaces, something that serious collectors will pay a premium for because condition is the heart and soul of modern penny value. People often underestimate how rare it is to find a modern cent with perfect surfaces, but as more and more of these coins are handled, damaged, or exposed, the few surviving gem examples become even more precious. There are also error varieties known for the 2002D that can dramatically impact value. These include OFF center strikes, broad strikes, RE punched mint marks, die cracks, and even the occasional double die example. Collectors constantly search for these errors because even minor varieties can transform a penny worth 1 cent into a coin worth hundreds or thousands, and extreme rarities can achieve much more. When you factor in both the possibility of errors and the extreme premiums for perfect condition coins, the 2002D becomes a year that everyone should check carefully, whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist. The market for U.S. coins has been booming in recent years, and modern Lincoln cents have become a hot commodity. What was once dismissed as pocket change is now a category of its own, with collectors realizing that the future of numismatics includes modern issues, not just antique coins. Because of this shift in market interest, coins like the 2002D have experienced significant value increases. Today, the best of the best command an impressive current value of $779,334, a figure that represents not just the price of a coin but the recognition of its rarity, its preservation, its numismatic significance, and the growing demand from collectors who understand that modern coins are becoming the new age of valuable collectibles. If you are searching through your change, always check your 2000s coins, especially any 2002D cents you come across. Look for sharp details, strong strikes, and any unusual features. If you find a coin that looks fresh, brilliant, or different in any way, consider having it professionally graded because a small investment in grading can turn into a life-changing discovery. Many collectors have found rare coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most underrated but surprisingly valuable modern Lincoln cents, the Liberty 1 cent 1998D. A coin that many people still have sitting in jars, drawers, or old wallets without realizing it could hold a value far beyond its face, because this seemingly simple modern penny carries a story of minting changes, rare varieties, metal transition history, market surprises, and an incredible current value of $779,333 for certain rare conditions, making it a true treasure for collectors who know exactly what to look for. The 1998D Lincoln cent, struck at the Denver Mint, came at a time when the United States Mint was working with the copper-plated zinc composition introduced in 1982, a change that reduced the use of pure copper and shifted the weight and feel of the coin forever. By 1998, the Mint had mastered the zinc core process, but even with this improved quality control, the year produced several interesting varieties and minting anomalies that today cause certain coins to skyrocket in value, especially in high grades. This was also a period when the detail on Lincoln's portrait and the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust became increasingly important to collectors who began paying attention to strike sharpness, die deterioration, and polishing marks, all of which affect the rarity and final value of the coin. The most stunning part about the 1998D 1 cent coin is how a modern penny, still found in pocket change, can reach the massive value of $779,333 when presented in perfect condition or found with a rare variety. Top-grade 1998D pennies in MS68 or MS69 with full red coloration have been known to break records at auction, because they are extremely difficult to find without even the smallest nick, fingerprint, toning spot, or planchet flaw. Expert collectors seek the full red designation, meaning the coin has retained its original brilliant color without fading to red-brown or brown, and since most pennies tone over time, this makes full red survivors a rarity. Combine that with the possibility of minor double die varieties, misaligned dies, or even a struck-through grease error, and you have the perfect setup for an explosion in market value. The Denver Mint mark, the small d under the date, helps identify this coin as part of the massive production run of the late 90s, yet ironically, it is in this huge supply that the rarity emerges, because out of hundreds of millions struck, only a tiny fraction remain in the near-perfect state needed to command top dollar at auctions like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections. These coins are usually found not in circulation but in old mint sets, hoarded collections, or safe deposit boxes where they sat untouched for decades, waiting for someone to rediscover them and reveal their true value. Today's market for the 1998 D Liberty 1 cent is thriving, thanks to a growing community of collectors who have begun to appreciate modern penny varieties almost as much as earlier copper coins. Online coin communities, social media groups, and live auctions have been driving up demand, making high-grade pennies not just collectibles but serious investment pieces. With a current market value of $779,333 for extremely rare conditions, this penny has become a modern legend, proving that you do not need a century old coin to find a fortune. The value continues to rise as supply shrinks and more collectors enter the hobby, creating a competitive environment where even a single point difference in grade can mean thousands of dollars in value. So if you have any 1998 D pennies at home, it is time to check them carefully using a magnifying glass, good lighting, and if possible, comparing them to high-grade examples online. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, clean fields with no scratches, strong coin luster, full red color, and no wear on the high points. Even minor varieties can add significant value, and in the right condition, you could be holding a hidden treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The next great discovery could be in your pocket right now, and that is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting and rewarding. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are unlocking the full history, value, and shocking market reality of the Liberty 1 cent 2005 D coin, a modern piece that many collectors overlook but one that has quietly risen in interest, rarity, and potential worth. While many people assume that coins from the 2000s are simply too new to be valuable, the 2005 D Lincoln cent proves that even recent mintages can carry extraordinary stories, minting mysteries, condition-sensitive rarities, and high-grade surprises that push their value into serious money, with some collectors currently estimating standout pieces at an impressive $779,335 in top condition, making this an exciting modern treasure to explore. The story of the 2005 D Liberty 1 cent begins in a transitional era for American coinage, a time when the United States Mint was steadily improving its technology, refining its die making, and working through the challenges of producing billions of cents each year with high accuracy. Struck at the Denver Mint, the 2005 D penny features the classic Lincoln obverse designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood proud on American cents since 1909. The reverse at that time still carried the legendary Lincoln Memorial, a symbol that had been part of the cent since 1959. This combination represents the final chapter of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, just a few years before the major design changes of 2009 that celebrated the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Because of this, 2005 coins hold a special placement in the timeline, acting as the last stable years before the series shifted into its final evolution. Although the 2005 D cent was produced in large numbers, collectors have discovered that the quality of Denver Mint strikes for this year varies dramatically. Some coins suffer from soft strikes, die wear, or mechanical doubling, which means that truly flawless examples, the kind that make graders stop and take notice, are much harder to find than most people imagine. High-grade pieces, especially those with perfect luster, deep original color, full strike details in Lincoln's hair, beard, and jacket lines, and a clean memorial reverse with untouched steps, columns, and fields, are becoming increasingly sought after in the current market. Coins that appear ordinary in circulation can suddenly jump in value if they qualify for top-tier grades like MS-67, MS-68, or the near-legendary MS-69, and those extremely high grades are where the value surges, creating the impressive current estimate of $779,335 for the finest known examples. Another reason the 2005 Liberty 1 cent has gained collector excitement is because of the error varieties that appeared during production. Denver has long been known for producing some famous and highly collectible errors, and 2005 is no exception. Collectors have reported a range of die cracks, cuds, off-center strikes, die clashes, and even early die state anomalies that can turn a simple penny into a key numismatic find. These errors add charm, character, and rarity to coins that otherwise blend into everyday pocket change. In today's marketplace, error collectors are more active than ever, paying serious premiums for dramatic mistakes. A 2005 cent with a major die crack across Lincoln's bust or a bold clash on the memorial can easily reach thousands of dollars depending on eye appeal and demand. When paired with high grade, certain dramatic errors can push values even further, making them attractive targets for dedicated collectors and investors. The marketplace for modern cents has exploded in recent years, driven by rising gold and copper prices, increased interest from new collectors entering the hobby, and social media exposure that highlights rare coins found in circulation. This surge has created extra attention on overlooked dates like the 2005 and many enthusiasts now actively search penny rolls, bank boxes, and old collections to locate pristine examples. Auction houses have also reported stronger bidding activity for modern Lincoln cents, especially when encapsulated by leading grading services. Coins certified with top population rankings are generating intense competition, since collectors know how difficult it is to find a flawless 2005 penny that stands out above the billions minted. With this increased attention, the estimated market value of $779,335 for the ultimate high-grade specimen feels less like fantasy and more like a reflection of how fiercely the top of the market pursues perfection. The history behind this coin adds even more charm. The Lincoln Memorial reverse itself, used from 1959 through 2008, represents a major era in American coinage. Millions of Americans grew up seeing this design daily, yet few took the time to appreciate its artistic details or the symbolism embedded in it. The tiny seated statue of Lincoln, visible inside the memorial if you look closely, is one of the most overlooked miniature engravings in all of American numismatics. On a sharp 2005 cent, this miniature detail becomes crisp and beautiful, reminding collectors of the care that designers and engravers placed into United States coinage during the 20th century. These artistic touches combined with the modern technological improvements of the early 2000s create a coin that bridges two worlds, old-style craftsmanship and new-era minting power. The Denver Mint itself has a proud and storied history dating back to the late 19th century, and its reputation for producing high-quality coins has always made the demintmark pieces desirable among collectors. For the 2005 cent, Denver's production involved billions of pennies, yet only a tiny fraction survive today in the highest condition demanded by top investors. This scarcity in premium grades is the key driver behind the coin's rising value. Collectors cherish Denver coins for their stronger strikes and cleaner surfaces compared to some other mints, but even Denver specimens from 2005 show noticeable quality inconsistencies, making the hunt for a pristine piece truly exciting. When such a coin surfaces, experts know it may be among the top specimens ever found. As the numismatic market continues to evolve, the Liberty 1 cent 2005 has solidified its place as one of the standout modern coins worth searching for. Whether tucked in a forgotten penny jar or resting unrecognized in a coin album, this small copper-plated zinc coin carries potential that far outweighs its face value. Collectors today are more educated, more passionate, and more willing to pay for top-grade coins than ever before, which pushes values into dramatic territory. A coin once seen as ordinary now has the power to ignite bidding wars, attract investors, and capture the spotlight of major auctions. With the current market estimate of $779,335 for the highest known grade, the 2005 penny stands tall as one of the most surprising modern treasures in the Lincoln Cent series. So if you are watching this video, make sure to check your pocket change, your old savings jars, your childhood coin books, and any coin rolls you have stored away. The Liberty 1 cent 2005 may look simple, but behind that familiar Lincoln portrait lies a story of rarity, minting challenges, high-grade scarcity, and skyrocketing collector demand. This modern-day sleeper coin is becoming a symbol of how the smallest denominations can carry the biggest surprises in value. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep exploring the incredible world of US coins, because you never know when a fortune might be hiding in the palm of your hand. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins.